Right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the Hollywood Morgue podcast. And today we're going to talk all about LGBTQ representation in Hollywood movies. Today I have a special guest with me today. You know him, you love him, the guy from somewhere in New Mexico, Doc J. How you doing, Doc? Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. There you go. Got it.
Hey,
Hey.
hey. I am doing all right. I'm doing pretty good.
Doing good. Getting a lot of videos. You just had a video come out earlier. I didn't see how many hours ago it was.
Yeah, I was testing I upgraded my StreamYard, so I was just testing the new features.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, you doing all right?
I am. I just got some new seasoning, so I'm going to try some chili later in the week.
Sounds
See if
good.
it will melt this beard off my face.
Oh, okay. Are you're
I
gonna
like
shave it all?
No, I'm going to make it so spicy the beard might burst into flames. I like my spicy, hot
It's like
chili.
Wild Hogs was gonna burn a hole in your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Today we're gonna talk all about LGBTQ representation in Hollywood movies. Now, some of these are based on popular icons, Milk, Truman Capote. We're gonna talk more about that later. A couple satires and a couple biopics. So, but before we get into that, I want to highlight a couple people who had passed away. Um, one, my first one is Carl Barks, not Marx, Carl Barks. He was a cartoonist for Walt Disney for 24 years. He did cartoons like Scrooge McDuck and Donald Duck. He passed away at 99 in 2000. If he was still with us today, he would be 119 years old. Yeah, old.
Nice.
And then the next one is I'm not sure how you say this. Gower, Gower, champion.
Goer, yeah.
Yeah. He was a theater director who made Broadway hits like Hello Dolly and Bye Bye Birdie. And he passed away in 1980 at the age of 61. If he was still with us today, he'd be 101 years old. So yeah, those are the two people. Carl Barks, I saw that. It's like 99 and 2000. That's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, those
And
are
Disney
the.
wasn't an easy company to work for either.
Oh, I'm sure. Get some praying hands in the chat for those guys. Oh, hey, Mommy Kitten and Rev
Hey,
Critter.
Mommy and Rev.
How y'all doing tonight?
Excellent.
All right. The first one I want to talk about is a movie that I've seen that you haven't seen. 10-Year Plan. 10-Year Plan is about these two friends they're both gay, obviously, and they make a pact that in 10 years, if they don't get married or find somebody, they have to get married and everything. And it goes about, skips forward, and then it has the month or so, 2 months or so, leading up to that day where they made their pact, and lots of hijinks ensues. And it's an older movie. It came out in 2014, but
Sounds like my best friend's wedding almost.
really,
Julia Roberts and Cameron Diaz. They these best friends made a pact. If they're both single when they hit 30 or 40, that they will marry each other.
right? No, that's what I think I made that thing with somebody one year. I was like, if we don't get married before we're like 30, you want to? It was stupid, but no, it goes into these guys. You have one guy, he's kind of a serious guy, he's kind of a business type. Um, he has this little what do you call it? His little traits. He's very clean, very stylish, but he's not as flamboyant as the other guy, who's just very out there and kind of a stereotype, if you will. It gets around a lot. The other guy's very keeps himself, and I don't know. I just feel like it's using both sides of the spectrum, but it's also
Yeah.
relying on stereotypes. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's hitting some stereotypes. You got the flaming, and then you got the closet case, and but stereotyping is an easy way to spoon feed things to the audience that might not be as comfortable with it.
Right. And I think I don't know if this got a wide release or anything. I know a couple of the actors did Hallmark movies, so I think it's like one of those straight to DVD or straight to TV movies. So, but what I saw, some of the reviews on it was pretty good, but I just feel like it relied more on stereotypes, and but I feel like you said, it kind of could ease people into it. But
It looks as though one of them is from DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
really,
Yes, Jack Turner plays Lieutenant John Tolkien. I've never seen
me neither.
never seen the show.
But I think I don't know if it's on there anymore, but it was on Hulu. It's called a 10-Year Plan. There's another one. I gotta find it. Next time it's on there, I'll have to send it to you. But it's another one that's kind of like that, but it's different in a way. Next one, another kind of satire, stereotypes, really heavy on it. It's called Another Gay Movie. It's kind of one of those, which I put on here, The Gay American Pie, because that's basically what it is. It's these four guys. They just graduated from high school, and they have the summer, and they said if they don't lose their virginities before they go to college, I don't know. That's their goal, to lose their virginities before they go to college.
Okay.
And this was 2006. They're still using chat rooms and early
Right.
internet stuff, and it's just weird. What is it? Legend of Tomorrow is actually not. It's a bit cheesy. Is it like Supergirl, Sarah Rev? Because if you watch some of the Supergirl episodes, they're kind of cheesy.
Yeah. Sadly. So it's, well, I tell you, makes me think of just a parody, absurd movie. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Oh, I like that one. That's one with Kevin James and Adam Sandler.
Right. Which, believe it or not, it's actually based on a real story. And it was a very serious movie. And it got passed around the studios and no one would touch it. And Adam Sandler was like, he found the script, he came across it, and he goes, we'll make this into a comedy. And then it got made. So, I don't know what kind of statement that makes about our society, but I don't know. It's easier to laugh than cry.
Right. And I guess maybe it's just because the subject matter, it involved, well, that was what, 2007, 2006, around that time?
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know how touchy people were about the subject matter, but it talks about two people who fake being gay to keep their house.
Yeah, want to keep health insurance. They're firemen.
Right.
And
best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has Kevin James and Adam Sandler. They're play Chuck and Larry. They're both good in the movie. It has Vin Rames is in it too. If you've never seen it, it's kind of yeah. And of course, you got all the Happy Madison guys. You got, I can't even think. You got the guy with the lazy eye. I don't.
And you got Bill Murray's brothers in it, and you got Dan Aykroyd's in it. Rob Schneider, of course, and Jessica Biel plays the attorney that gets tricked.
And I think Jackie Sandler actually plays the twins. If I can remember, does she?
Maybe. It's been a while.
Yeah, for me, it's been too. But I'm gonna have to get. I'm gonna find that on Amazon. I'm gonna buy it. I know. I like the movie. Didn't understand it at first, but I'm just like,
Right.
I understand it now. He's helping a friend out, but
And it used humor and some stereotypes that some people thought were offensive to deliver a sweet story that in the end makes you go, yeah, I'm kind of an asshole for being against this at all. Yeah.
and there's a really good scene and when they're at a party and they're all dancing, they're having a good time. Adam Sandler's cracking jokes and everything, and that scene where they come out of the party and they have all the people protesting.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of it, Adam Sandler's kind of, he's kind of just, I don't know how you say it.
He makes jokes just like everyone else.
Right. But when
But
after the incident happens where they're all protesting and everything,
right.
then he kind of stands up for him, and he becomes part of it, and he becomes an ally instead of the people that are just like,
Right.
not really against it, but just kind of uncomfortable with it in a sense.
Right.
If that's the right way.
Right. And plus the way the way his crewmates, his teammates, the other firemen react, it's like, yeah, it definitely will. It's got enough humor to enough funny stuff to get someone who's not interested in the subject to watch and keep watching. But it's got enough serious moments to make these people go, yeah, they're right.
Right.
I was being an asshole.
Yeah. And I enjoy that movie. But like you said, it has its flaws, but I think it's one of the better ones. Would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, it has enough sweetness and to go with the silliness, I think.
Right. Rev says the turtle is trying to escape.
Yeah, he is definitely making noise. He's got his food is new. So he's not liking his stuff and he's trying to let me know.
It's Panda throwing a rave back there. You should do I don't know. You should do a skit with the Panda.
I should.
I don't know what.
We should come up with something funny.
I see it. He's just rolling around there. Yeah. For those of you, for those of you listening to this, yeah, he has a turtle in a tank behind him, and his turtle's like hitting up against the glass and everything. So that's why if you hear, if you hear that throughout the thing, don't worry about it.
Yeah, he knows how to make himself known.
But yeah, I would say it's one of the better movies. I looked on like the worst, like on a list of like the top worst, LGBTQ movies, and a lot of them are newer ones. Actually, that's what people are saying. It's like the newer ones are the ones that people don't like. Like I don't see any ones from like the 70s or any 80s ones or any from the early 2000s really. I did see another gay movie on there.
It definitely seems like newer movies now are very, very much they're all pandering. And it's not about making a character or telling a story. It's about, hey, I got to get this many of this category in here. And
right.
Yeah, can we just tell a story?
Right. And several movies I've seen, they talk about there's pansexual people in there. instead of just
pansexual. Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand that. If you understand,
It bisexual has been attacked and shit on by both communities, the straight and the gay community, for so long that no one wants to say they're bi.
right?
So it's pansexual. I'm attracted to the soul, or I'm attracted to someone's mind and their intelligence, and that's another one. Or I'm the birdcage, Robin Williams. Yes.
Oh, I love that. I didn't even think about putting that one on here, but that one's a good one too. Yeah, Robin Williams and Nathan. What's his name?
Nathan Lane.
There we go. He did the voice of Timon in Lion King.
Yes. Timon or Pumbaa. I forget which is which.
Yeah, it was Timon. He is gay in real life.
Oh.
When you would think the amount of go ahead.
He's also on Modern. He was on Modern Family.
He was. I know.
Pepper. He played Pepper.
Oh, well, I know
the gay couple's friend.
Okay. I got to say there's the redhead, and then there's the other guy, the bigger guy, Eric. But he's not. He's not gay in real life. But I was gonna say, with the amount of movies that Robin Williams does play a gay character, because there's actually quite a few. There's one of his last movies he did was called Boulevard. He plays a semi-gay character. He does it in The Birdcage. He's a gay character in a Tu Wong Fu. He does a short little cameo in that. And I'm sure there's others, but you know, he's always funny the way he impersonates, where he's always like dancing and everything. He always makes it funny.
Yeah.
But I would say it does lean into stereotypes, but I mean it's comedy. It's not like it's being rude about it.
Yeah, I mean stereotypes exist for a reason. It's an exaggeration of a common feature, and I've spent a lot of time in the community around the gay community, and one thing, people have a sense of humor.
Right.
I mean, when everyone comes together, it's about laughter and smiles, because Lord knows there's enough tears in the real world.
Oh yeah, it's especially now, especially because it's rough. A lot of kids are having trouble. During the summer, a lot of kids were having trouble, you know, reaching out to friends, and that's people who they would talk to if their parents were really, you know, kind of shooting at home. They would have friends to reach out to and talk to about it, which is good. It's good to have people you can actually talk to about it. But I just feel like it kind of sucks because I have a friend who's going to be trans, and you know they talk online and everything, but you know when it comes to personal, you know, interaction, you know, seeing people face to face and really talking about it, there's kind of a difference, you know.
Right.
Because over the phone, things can kind of get misconstrued and sound mean. And so that's what I feel like when it comes to being open about that kind of stuff, it really helps to have somebody face to face to talk to.
So much of our communication, especially the empathy part, is done through, you know, reading each other's eyes. The eyes really are what the eyes communicate intention, they communicate sincerity, they communicate empathy, and without that it's just a voice.
Right. You know, and body language too. You know, people when they're like really when they're talking about something that they're, I would say, sad about, they're, you know, passionate about, they're either like this, they're like, oh, you know, like all that, or they're like, you know, body language, they're moving their hands, you know, they're not doing this, they're like, you know, I don't know. It's I feel like a lot of people, especially during the summer, especially right now, have they've kind of had a struggle. People who are just now coming out, or trans or pansexual, they didn't have the reach like they did before, and so I feel like it could be a dangerous time for anybody who had to go through that over the past, several months.
There's been a huge uptick in self-ending among people because isolation and quarantine. It's rough.
Right. And I'm gonna link it in my. I have it. I believe. No, it's another channel, but I think I'm gonna put it in my banner link too. But I'm gonna put it in this one. I'm gonna link the Trevor Project. Not a sponsor, by the way. The Trevor Project is a line you can call to talk to people about, for LGBT people about, things at home, or if it's almost like a life-ending hotline. For that sounds really bad what I'm about to say, but for people like that, and it's people they can talk to who've been through the same thing, or can help them, kind of cope. And I think they have, I believe it's 24/7 service. I don't know about right now, but I think they did 24/7
Right.
people on the phone. So if you are feeling down about it, or you have doubts, call the or not doubts, but if you're have nobody to reach out to, definitely reach out to the Trevor Project. I'll link their website in the description. But, yeah. Anyway, sorry. On to the next one. Talk about gay icons. First one I have is Harvey Milk. Do you know who Harvey Milk is?
Harvey Milk, mayor, first openly gay mayor elected in the United States.
Right. It was in they made a movie about it with Sean Penn and Josh Brolin and James Franco. It's called Milk, and it talks about him coming from New York to moving to California, and it talks about all the riots and how police were treating people, literally shutting down businesses because of the people's sexual orientation. And it's unfortunate that happened, but it was, I would say it was the law back then, but it was also a different time.
Right.
Now people are more accepting, especially in California. But that street there on Castro Street kind of became a hub for people who were LGBT, or they just needed people to talk to or be friends with. They would go down there because that's people who are going to be their allies. And
Right.
it talks. Stonewall happened 10 years earlier than that, because
Right. And that was New York.
Yeah, that was in New York, and I'm surprised they never made a movie about Marsha P. Johnson, or they didn't make a movie about Stonewall, but it didn't really have good reviews. I guess it didn't work or something. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah, I believe they did make some sort of movie about Stonewall, but it I don't know. And in the movie, it talks about Harvey Milk and the people he talks to, and him working and him opening his business and everything. And it talks about just the people around him trying to put him down, trying to demonize him and everything.
He had to fight hard.
Right. He did, and it's just I don't know. I believe he got it, but then if you don't know, Harvey Milk was he was assassinated by his rival, Jerry White.
White, yeah.
Something, I think it was something White. In the movie,
Yeah.
it's by Josh Brolin, which he kind of got off. He actually killed 2 people, but he kind of got off because he said that he was the junk food he was eating. That's with his mind. It was
Yeah.
insane.
It was he was one of the first major martyrs for the community.
Right. But I would say it started with Stonewall is really kind of blew over, and then he came up later. And what'd you say?
Rev says, "Wiggle your cord."
Is that better?
I'm assuming that's what she means. Otherwise, she's getting frisky.
This isn't that kind of live stream, okay?
Yeah, you got to log on to OnlyFans for that.
You gotta go to my ex-hamster page. Just kidding.
Yeah, Stonewall was the reason why Stonewall, and it's funny, but Stonewall was majorly supported by the mafia, by some homophobic Italians, right? Because it started out as just a place to launder money, but because it was just a place to launder money and they did not care, dude was just like, yeah, whatever. We don't care. We don't even care if we're making money. This is just for show. So the gay crowd came in and it became a hot spot, and they were making money hand over fist. They were making so much money they could no longer use that place to launder money. It was making just large amounts of money, and everyone was just good, and there weren't any issues. And the cops started popping in, and it's like the mafia joined in with the pink mafia, I guess, and stood up to the cops and made them back down.
And they weren't just doing it to the Stonewall; they were doing it to other places that had been affiliated with that, clubs and bars and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a different time in the 60s. Up north, down south, there's been cases where people have been literally burned alive. Like it's insane how far we've come into accepting.
Still some ways to go, but man, the difference between now and 1985, just that short time period, is just such a huge difference. It's insane.
Yeah. 1980, what was it, 88? Was it 88 when the Nightmare on Elm Street 2 came out?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part 2? I think so. Sounds about right.
Yeah, the main
had the redhead.
The redhead. Are you talking about like the girl, or was it?
Yeah, the girl. She never went on to do any other big movies, but yeah, I'll always remember that.
Yeah, but the main.
Oh wow, Part 2 came out in 85.
85. Oh.
Who knew?
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you said 85. So I was thinking later. I actually thought. So that means Nightmare came out what, 84?
I would think.
Yeah. But anyway, the Nightmare on Elm Street 2 came out, and it stars the actual actor. He later came out, and I was told that he didn't really do a whole lot of movies after that, but I was told that he did a lot of panels and stuff, and was really kind of a pioneer for actors like that in Hollywood. Like one of the ones that was out, and but didn't really do much.
When he came out, it ended his career. He went on to do he did like a after school special, and that's really all he did until last few years.
Right. And I would hope he would be talking now, going to the cons or, conventions and talking about it, and because I'm sure it was difficult for him, because you got everybody's doing one thing, they're all like let's go here. We're gonna meet up with some girls and all this stuff, and he's gonna be like,
Plus, this is during the AIDS scare when
right,
people were worried that hugging a gay man or a gay man using the same bathroom. I mean, there was talk of making gay only bathrooms because people were scared that the guy could pee in the urinal and you'd get AIDS from it. Like, it was a new disease. No one knew how it spread, and things were so wild back then.
right.
Well, I mean,
word of advice: don't put your dick on the urinal.
Yeah.
Or on the toilet seat. But another person who was I wouldn't say an icon, but popular in another section of the internet. Truman Capote. He was a journalist. He wrote a story about a couple of guys who killed some people. And
his one and only novel.
Yeah, he was a cold. I think it was called like Cold Case, or
In Cold Blood, I believe.
And there we go. That's it. It talks about these two guys, and they end up getting the death penalty.
Right.
And it was kind of rough. And
short drop couldn't stop.
Right, and he couldn't. They ended up making a movie about that too. But unfortunately, he couldn't get the story out to people that they didn't believe him, so those guys didn't get freed. But they probably weren't going to get freed anyway. That's cool.
Right.
But yeah, I was a journalist. I don't know how open he was about it, but in the movie, it's really hit too. It's never made like it's never like a big deal, and I feel like they made him look more like a person than they made him seem more real than like he was just one thing, like one big stereotype, and that was going to be his whole deal.
That's a big reason why that's a big reason why the newer movies aren't as popular, because it's not a character with emotions and feelings. It's basically take a broom, set it up on the stage with a name tag that says I'm gay, another one that says I'm this race, I'm this religion, I'm this, and they're not written as people.
Yeah, and I feel like they did that well in that movie, and they picked a good actor to do it too. Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace. They did a good actor to play it. He also did another character like that in Boogie actually Boogie Nights, and I believe Flawless, where he played a drag queen, and then he did a character in Boogie Nights, which he gets to make out with Mark Wahlberg, which is big. Yeah. Or he gets to
also Truman Capote. He wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's, the movie. It's based on a short book of his. And if you watch the amazing movie with Greg Kinnear and Matt Damon, Stuck on You or Stuck Together, it's about Siamese twins, conjoined twins. And Greg Kinnear does a musical version of Truman Capote. And he does like this really cheesy, well, actually, what I was thinking today was, just does this over the top impersonation of Capote.
Right.
For the final scene with Meryl Streep.
Yeah. I think I've seen one interview with the actual Truman Capote, and I think Hoffman nailed he got the voice down, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He got
Hoffman he was a good actor.
He got the way he would do his head too, because Capote was like he was trying to smell something.
Oh, is that kind of like how snooty people seem to like?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not snooty.
And the character in To Kill a Mockingbird, Boo Radley is based on Truman Capote.
Really?
Because Truman Capote grew up in Alabama. He was next door neighbors and best friends with Harper, who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. Yeah. So Boo Radley is based on Truman Capote.
Boo Radley.
The little short, creepy kid in the Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. And yeah, I think he did a really good job. And I think that's what people need to work on, especially when it comes to real people. 'Cause, I mean, these were real people with real family, real emotions. These weren't just a made-up character you made in 15 minutes. These were people that, they had real backstory. And, you can make, I think there's, what do you call it? Liberty, what is it called? The Liberty, artistic liberties? Is that the right thing? I understand we can take artistic liberties, changing some people's names, because not a lot of people want to get their names out there. So changing people's names like they did in another movie I'm going to talk about in a minute, Bohemian Rhapsody. Changing people's names. Don't change if he's popular for something, don't change that. But make the person actually how they were. Especially if it's documented, if it's on TV, if it's in music, or if it's video, make them seem real. Don't make them look like a character. Make them feel like the real person. Just.
Have you ever watched the TV show Southland?
No. Is it on? What channel is it on?
I don't have TV. It was on Hulu or Amazon. One or the other is what I watched it on. I just watched it. It's an older show, but it lasted, I guess, like 7 or 8 seasons. One of the main characters is Abraham from The Walking Dead.
Oh,
that actor.
Yeah,
and he plays a gay man.
And
but they never say it. Like, they show him in a bar. It's an all-male bar. Okay.
Right.
They show him with a friend over. They never say it. And I mean, it's obvious if someone points out and goes, "Hey, by the way, he's gay." It's like, oh shit, yeah, he is. But that's not what his character is about. It's about being a cop. It's about being divorced. It's about struggling with this, and like his romantic tendencies are such a small part of who he is and what he's doing on the show that they just did not feel the need to go, everyone, time out. Gotta let you know, this person, yep, this is what he likes in the bedroom. It doesn't matter. It's not our business as the audience, so they don't beat us over the head with it.
Right. And
that impressed me so much.
And another movie we had talked about last week, a movie called Tombstone. You might have heard of it. It's about the Battle of the OK Corral. And there's a character, or 2 characters in there. One of them is played by Billy Zane, and the other one's played by, and you know the name of the other guy?
Jason Priestley.
Yes.
From Beverly Hills 90210, for people my age or close to it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't look at it, but in the movie, anyway, there's a guy, Billy Zane. He's kind of a theater actor. He's doing a show, and there's a character who sits in the audience. I don't know the name. I apologize.
Billy.
Billy. There we go. And he's sitting there watching him, and all the guys are being loud, clapping and everything, making a big ruckus, and he's just watching it. And in the movie, the guy leans over next to him and he goes, like, I forgot what he says. You remember what he says?
Something about, oh yeah, because he's up there, he's doing Faust, right? And he's he's giving the St. Crispus monologue, and they're shooting guns, right? And they're like shooting shit right by his head, and he's just like, fuck you. If I die, I die, but I'm getting this monologue out. And he's nailing every word. And Curly Bill's like, he's got some brass ones on him, or or he's impressive, he's this or he's that, and Billy just goes, I think he's perfect, or I think he's beautiful or marvelous. He says something along those lines.
I think he's perfect. I think is what he says. Yeah.
And it's just like, you know it right there. But if you miss that one line, if you're lighting a cigarette or something, you miss it, they're not gonna.
Yeah. And then in the next couple scenes, they're sitting in a bar next to each other, so we don't know what happened.
Right. And when, spoiler alert, when the great actor is killed, Billy is just devastated. He's like, he's like, I'd like to get a gun and gun them down, but I know I can't. I'm not enough of a gunslinger or something. But devastating.
Yep. No, I didn't even realize it until last week. I've seen the movie before that. I'd watched the scene and I never even thought about it. And then I was watching one night and I'm like, hold on, go back. And I'm like, what? And I told my mom. My mom's like, what? And then I showed the scene too, and she's like, huh. She didn't say anything about it, but she's just like surprised, But I don't know if that was added in the movie, because I don't think it's because of the time. I just feel like, was that a thing? Was that common back then, or is that just, you think it was added from Hollywood creatively?
That's Arizona. So I imagine to an extent. Now, one thing about Texas that people don't, for some reason, they don't advertise as much is Texas had such a huge Jewish population, because while everyone else is, being dicks about this and fighting over that, they in Texas, it's like, look, we need to get this work done. We need ranch hands. You're going to work on Saturday. You're going to work on Sunday. It don't matter. And beans are kosher. So that there were a huge Jewish population in Texas around that time, because we had to get shit done. So a lot of homosexuality tendencies kind of slipped by, because it's like with the mafia and Stonewall. Morals are usually set aside for greed and money. So, did people approve? Probably not. But Tombstone was way more concerned with mining. They were more concerned with getting silver than they were getting moral.
Right. And it's good. It's good that you bring that up. It's good that you said that, because I didn't know if you felt like that would be adding in there for, like I said, artistic liberty, or if that's because of the time. But it's good that you brought some history.
Yeah, that's one reason why so many people came from the East out West, because no one cared about anything but themselves and money.
Yeah. And looks like a lot of those gangsters, I guarantee you, if the money wasn't in it, they probably wouldn't kill each other. If it wasn't for land or property or stuff like that, they wouldn't kill each other. They're putting their morals aside for money and like you said, and news and stuff like that. So, now that I think about it, it makes sense. In that way.
Around that same time period in New York, there's a term, speaking of Jewish, a racial slur people use to say against Jewish people that would make you think of flying a kite. That phrase comes from the German Jewish people attacking the Russian Jewish people over just fucking 300-year-old bullshit and the way they would sign their names coming into Ellis Island. So out east, you've got a group of people that are being segregated and attacked by everyone around them, still within their group finding ways to fight and attack each other. Everyone's just crammed together and hateful. But then you get out to Arizona, New Mexico, Wyoming, and it's like, look, we got all the space in the world to do whatever you want. But yeah, I need your help to get these cattle moved. I need your help to get this silver mine. Hey,
Right.
nerdy.
I think I
There
have
was
a friend that's supposed to be joining me tonight too. Not on the podcast. I think he's going to be coming later, but I got 6 people watching, which is more than usual
nice. See,
at a time. Usually, like later it'll get more watches, but now it's 5. I think spoke to.
Well, it's because you jumped on some streams. People have gotten to know you, and once people get to know you, they're going to check your stuff out because everyone likes you.
Right. Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, no, I agree. Mama Kitten commented on the book. She said this was a good podcast.
Oh,
Appreciate that.
thank you, Mommy.
Sounds weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. The next, the one I was thinking about talking about is Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, if you don't know, there's a song that came out in the late '70s called Bohemian Rhapsody, sung by a band. What is it called? Can't even think of it.
Queen.
There we go. Thank you. I'm just kidding. I know.
I'm just a poor boy.
Nobody loves me.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family.
No, wait, don't sing anymore. We might get copyrighted.
Once you start singing it, it's gonna be in your head. It's gonna be in your head for a while.
Right. No, and
you're welcome, everyone.
We literally at a dance, people were singing. There's certain songs that everybody just loves to sing along to, but every time they would go like Galileo, Galileo, they would do that. Literally, there'll be like 10 people in the crowd going Galileo, Galileo. It's funny. But yeah, no, it's just funny. That and Crank That Soldier Boy. That was the song everybody liked to sing along to.
Unfortunately, I do know that song. I was in Fort Knox at the time, and the drill sergeants, who are always hilarious, they would find one soldier and they would make him do that song and dance. He'd never heard it. They'd make him learn it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's weird. And this is what the military does when they're not combat. They just crank that soldier.
Each drill sergeant would pick someone from his platoon, and they would compete to see who could do it the best. And whoever lost, the entire platoon was punished. So yeah, a lot of pressure on some young 18, 19-year-old kid.
Really?
Yeah. That's half of what the military is. You got to be prepared. And that means you have to wait a lot of downtime waiting, like firefighters. So you fill that time with the worst things imaginable. And I don't mean that like in a gross, dirty way. I just mean like
making fun of each other, just playing games, shooting basketball, lifting weights,
or pick. A lot of times you're out in just a big gravel pit. So it's like, see that can over there? All right, we're all going to line up with gravel and see who can hit the can first. 4 hours later. I hit it 9 times. I hit it 11 times.
Right, yeah.
4 hours in the motor pool every Monday for over a decade of my life.
He's having a Vietnam flashback again. Yeah, but anyway, Bohemian Rhapsody. It's basically the biopic of Queen and Freddie Mercury, and it mainly centers around Freddie Mercury. He passed away from AIDS, HIV. Um, he was in his 40s, wasn't
Yeah, he was in his early to mid 40s.
he? Right. And he's a very, very talented singer. But he also had what do you say? Behind the scenes, he had kind of a lifestyle. He'd go to parties, he'd get drunk, he'd do
Right.
lots of drugs and stuff like that. But if you watch the movie, yeah, there's one, maybe two scenes where he's really going on a bender, and he kind of acts out, but it's never really brought up. And I feel like we didn't get to see the full Freddie Mercury, or we kind of felt like the
Right.
watered down version of that. I think
They wanted to protect his legacy by cutting out all the really awful things that he overcame. Because a lot of that was brought on. He was a good dude. He was a religious guy. He had his ducks in a row, his shit tight. And the manager, when he started a semi-romantic relationship with the manager, it was so toxic that it drove him to this destructive behavior. And when he finally got past that and he started getting his life together, and he got back, not romantically, but he got back with Mary, his
wife,
partner in life. And that's when he found out that he was sick. And that's when they were like, we got to get out as much music as we can before I pass.
right.
But all of that buildup isn't as powerful if you don't show how low he got.
And it wasn't even like the right way he told everybody. When come to find out, it wasn't how he actually told everybody that he had HIV, or that he had AIDS, and everything. So I feel like, we should have seen we should have seen him at his lowest low, and then they get the news, and then he did it was after Live Aid he told everybody, right? Or was it before?
He made a public announcement less than 18 hours before he passed. Like when he made the announcement, he died. Like that day or the day after.
Okay.
Like, so I want to say he made the announcement in the evening and then he died in the morning.
They wanted to, I think, artistic liberties. They took I tell everybody, and then we do the last show, one of our last shows, Live Aid, big show, big concert. Everybody, everybody sees it, all this stuff, and that's kind of like the big end of the movie, and it's a good ending. There's I'm dying. We're gonna do this last concert together, and then he lives out the rest of his life. But in fact, that's not how it happened at all. And I think we should have seen him at his lowest low. Then he gets the news. Then he does the concert, and then it, maybe some time after that, or it should have ended at the concert, and then he should have got the news, or whatever.
Ending at the concert is fine, but it misses one of the more powerful moments of my life, of my young life, is there's a song, "The Show Must Go On," right? So fucking that song, man. And he is so weak and so sick that he can barely, he's right like this when he's singing. But when he hits that chorus, when you watch him sing it, right, in the studio, he's just, and it's such a sad song, but when it gets that chorus, it's like the magic of Freddie just kind of comes back in, and he can hold himself up long enough to hit that chorus and fucking, and then he's back. Like, it was as if he was giving his life, just pouring his soul out to get that last album. And
Right.
I mean, they couldn't tour at that time. He couldn't even walk most of the time. When they do videos, it would take the last video. I can't think of it. Slightly Mad, maybe. No. Yeah. Super nerdy. That song, fucking. I think showing them in the studio, getting that album together, would have been a very sad, powerful way to end it.
Right.
But him, young and healthy and at the peak of his game at Live Aid with that white wife beater, yeah, that's fantastic. That's one of the, man, I remember that concert so well. They played it on every TV station in Germany. Like, Queen was huge.
Was it in German?
No, but everyone knew Queen songs. It's a weird thing. Like, you go to a foreign country, they can't fucking speak a word, but they'll know every damn word to a Guns N' Roses song.
Oh, I can imagine singing "Sweet Child of Mine" with like a German accent.
Like, that's the crazy thing about Japan. Japan was the biggest Guns fans ever. So, like, no English, but damn right they'll nail "Welcome to the Jungle" or "Paradise City," and that's a fast one.
Yeah, it's "Welcome to the Jungle."
But yeah, but how many kids are running around here that can sing BTS? Like, they know all the songs and they can fucking quote animes, but they don't know the language.
Right. Yeah. Right. You know, I'm surprised. There's a lot of kids that I know who, they put off this persona. They're like, I don't really call them posers, but I'm calling them posers because they're posers.
Yeah.
And they always put themselves as like, like they're all like like if they're a thug or something like that. They always try to act like they're like gonna kill you any second. But like they wear anime shirt. They wear shirts that have like Naruto, or they wear Pokemon shirts.
Right.
It's like, you can't say you're gonna kill me and my family. You're gonna do a drive by when you're wearing a Pokemon shirt.
Yeah.
You're a bunch of posers. But yeah, I agree with you, and I hope that if they do any other artists, they did a movie about Liberace called "Welcome to the Caldera."
Candelabra.
Yeah.
Behind the Candelabra. Yeah.
Yeah, which has Matt Damon and
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Michael Douglas and Matt Damon.
Yeah, Michael Douglas as Liberace. Looks very weird. Doesn't look anything like Liberace. It looks like the Vegas, looks like the crispy kernel of Liberace. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Returnalist.
Yeah, he is nerd. He's they changed his food. So the pellets, they're a different shape now, and they changed the color on one of the other things. So he's right by his food bowl, and he's like getting up and like bouncing and making as much noise as he can to let me know I want the old stuff back.
Yeah. But anyway, no, another one. I think they kind of hit the nail on the head. Rocket Man, which you said you've never seen,
right?
But Rocket Man is about Elton John, the story of Elton John and what he had to go through. And he, like Freddie Mercury, was married to a woman, multiple women, or just one.
Right.
He was married to one woman for a short amount of time, and then he eventually got married to another guy. But in the movie, it shows him making all the music and everything, and it's really well done. It's there's scenes where it's like almost like a musical, like The Greatest Showman. They're like singing and sets move, and he gets older and all this stuff. It's really cool. and but it shows him when he's at his lowest lows. He shows him when he's all drunk, like he's drunk at a party and he's falling into the pool and he's, dying. That's like when he tried to commit suicide. I I think it was like true, like he actually did that, and everything, and it's really sad. But it also shows him getting better with the final song, which is "I'm Still Standing." And that was one of the songs he. That was one of the songs that kind of was his revival, back to the mainstream. Where he kind of got sober and everything. So I
Right.
think it ended on a good note, but it showed him at his low, and then he kind of went up after that. And at the beginning of the movie, he's in like therapy or he's in like group therapy, and he's kind of talked about his backstory and everything, and it kind of blends it all together. And I think he did a really good job. So if you ever get a chance, I believe it's still on Hulu. So watch that, and you can tell me what you think about it. But I think it's
Oh well.
better than Bohemian Rhapsody. Although I do like Bohemian Rhapsody. Got the soundtrack. Got the my friend has the poster of Bohemian Rhapsody,
Yeah.
and I got the movie. So like Bohemian
Yeah. And
Rhapsody.
Rami Malek was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I couldn't see anybody else play him.
They had oddly enough the Borat guy.
Really, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, and he wrote a script, and it was really, really good. And apparently he can pull the part off really well. But the band wanted him to cut out all the drugs and all the low stuff, so he walked away and quit the project.
Really,
That's why the movie sat on the shelf for like 3 years.
the band
Right, like Brian May and yeah, the rest of the band, they would not sign off on it unless they cut out the sex and the dirty stuff.
I don't. Well, they kind of did that anyway, but I think what's kind of sucks that we could have got an actual
Right.
we could have got an actual representation of what he might have been like. Sacha Baron Cohen. This kind of seems to me that seems like a weird choice.
Yeah, but when you watch him in what's that stupid NASCAR movie?
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights.
Or yeah, and not to insult the movie, but it is by design a stupid movie. I mean that's the charm of it.
It is a stupid movie.
He does a great job in. I mean, he's in so many good movies that he does such a good job, but you never notice him. You don't like you'll watch Les Miserables and you don't recognize him when you see him.
Yeah.
You watch the crappy Sweeney Todd musical.
Yeah, I was just about to say Sweeney Todd.
And he's in that, and like he does such good work when he's not the star.
Wasn't he also in Bruno, or is that a different actor?
Yes, or Bruno. Yeah, Bruno.
He was in Bruno and Borat, because everybody talks about Borat, which I've never seen it.
Right.
But it just annoys the shit out of me. He's like, oh, he's not my wife.
He's in a movie called Hugo, which is where Chloe Grace Moretz gets her start.
Hugo, that's the one about the guy. It talks about the Man on the Moon, where it kind of talks about filmmaking and then the robot and stuff like that. Isn't that it?
Yeah, I think so. It's Martin Scorsese did a 3D movie. It's like a girl in a train, like an orphan girl in a train station or something.
Right. But I could have sworn in the movie that's where you see the famous picture where it shows the face on the moon and there's like a rocket ship in the eye.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And
yeah,
I don't know.
One of the first movies ever made.
Yeah, one of the first movies ever made. The first one ever made was, I believe, a movie called Runaway Train or something like that. and or something to that extent. Anyway, it's basically a video of a train, coming towards the audience, and people said that they actually like jumped out of their seat because they thought the train was gonna come out the screen and everything. So you get new stuff filmed on on screen, and people like just freaked out. Um, I mean, yeah, I think Cohen did a good job in Sweeney Todd. Didn't really care for Johnny Depp.
He did a good job, but the problem was Tim Burton cannot direct Johnny Depp. Those two, they hit magic a couple times, and now he just throws Johnny Depp in every movie, and it doesn't fit. Johnny Depp never should have played Willy Wonka. Johnny Depp never should have done Sweeney Todd. Johnny Depp never should have done Dark Shadows. Like, these are all terrible ideas, and he was terrible for the part. There was nothing he could do to make that good.
Could you imagine Alan Rickman playing Sweeney Todd?
I think it should have been Anthony Stewart Head. Plays Giles on Buffy, the TV show. I think it should have been him. Because when you go and you look at him in Repo Man, he nails it. And Repo Man's just a Sweeney Todd made for film.
Right. Yeah. But no, I think if the movie's fine, it kind of brings, like it did in Sleepy Hollow, it brings that old 70s, or not 70s, Hammer. It kind of gives you the Hammer vibe, where it has the blood, and it's all like, it's all like stage blood, basically.
Right.
And it shows, like, and people also establish that it's film. So I mean, now you can make it as bloody or as gory as you want, instead of like being on a stage. You got to like basically imagine like, oh, he slits his throat and all that stuff. But in the movie, you can see all the.
I like Sweeney Todd on stage better, just like I prefer Dracula on stage better than most of the movies they make.
I watched high school. My high school. I wasn't in high school; I was in middle school. But the high school that I was going, that was near my town, they did a stage play of Dracula, and it was very good. They had the Dracula's wives, hit the back of my seat, and I freaked out because like these girls were coming. Right. The girls were coming around, thing, and they hit my seat, and so I'm like, whoa! And I didn't scream, but it just startled me, and I got made fun of because Dark Shadow's not that bad.
I loved the TV show, so that movie is offensive in so many ways. But yeah, like the reason I like Sweeney Todd so much on stage is like, you get the throat slit, right? And then you just, right? And obviously it would be red, right?
Right, yeah.
And it just, it shines. And yeah, it's just a cloth. But I don't know. There's something about being there and you can see the actors and you can hear them. And I don't know.
Also, they can actually sing too, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. The audience shapes the play, right? Because the actors feed off of the audience and the audience feeds off of the actors. It's very... Whereas some things should be observed and some things you should take part in. So, yeah, watching Terminator, it's going to be terrible on a stage because you're watching it, right? You're just observing. Whereas something big and flamboyant and, like, especially musicals, it's better to be part of it. Unless it's Hamilton, because Hamilton sucks.
Well, I didn't realize there was a Beetlejuice play, a Beetlejuice musical. Is that any good?
Someone sent me that.
People always talk about it. I like the movie because I favor movies over plays. but I can enjoy a good play if I see it. Like I like the Dracula. That was a good one that they did. I would love to see like in a Broadway, professionally
Right.
done with studio lights and all that stuff. But you know, the movies. Some of the movies are good. I think of the ones in the 30s or the 70s, um, and even those vampire type movies. Uh, but no, I can appreciate a good play when I see it. But I'm more of a movie person.
I love movies. I love plays, but sometimes it should not be a play. Some things should just never be put on stage, ever. And some things should be plays. And sometimes you get the rare things that are really good for both. A Few Good Men is a fantastic play that they turned into a movie that turned out to be a fantastic movie. The Birdcage, Ocage Foley. Sorry, I forgot my French for a second. It's a stage play, and when it's a stage play, it's so big and so grand that the only reason why it worked so well as a movie is because Robin Williams is a play. Robin Williams is a production. That guy is the orchestra and dancers all in one.
And it's like the Aladdin. Everybody remembers, even though he's an animated character, people don't see the genie. They're like, "Oh, the genie was so great." They hear Robin Williams, and when he does the impressions, they animate the impressions. Like there's a scene where he's playing the rug, and he's doing whatever chess check or something like that. And he's like, he does Ronnie Dangerfield. They animate his face look like Ronnie Dangerfield, and he's like, "I can't believe can speak to a rug." It's stuff like
Right.
that, but it's stuff that only Robin Williams could, because they probably didn't put that in the script. I mean,
no, he ad-libbed so much of that.
Right. And so it's only I think only Robin Williams can bring that his talent and his charisma to that role. Will Smith, as cool as Will Smith is, and as good as an actor, Will Smith can be a good actor. But he's cool. He's laid back. He's chill. And when he's trying to do all the funny stuff like Robin Williams does in the animated movie, it doesn't hit the same notes.
It feels forced.
It does feel forced. And I think people, if you agree with me, let me know in the comments, because I just feel like it was forced. But I'm not saying that he's a bad actor. It's just like I talk about, a couple of videos about Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey, when given the right script and given the right direction, can be a fantastic actor. But with certain people,
it appears as though you are breaking up pretty bad.
no.
But while you're working on that, Will Smith, a lot of people may not remember, but his first film role, he played a gay man. He did 6 Degrees of Separation, which is a brilliant play that turned out to be a fantastic movie. And
Are you talking about Kevin Spacey?
No, Will Smith. Will Smith's first movie role was playing a gay man, a closeted gay man. And you go and you watch it now, and it's like such a good cast. And he was such a kid. He was so young then. And in the interviews, he talks about how, I'm from Philly. It's such a good role, but yeah, my friends and family are going to see me kissing a guy. I don't know how they're going to handle it. Of course, this is like the 80s, right. Early 90s.
Am I coming in good for now?
Slightly better.
Like I said, I'm going to have to give you another. I have my microphone, but I need to charge my headphones. I wear the headphones. So.
Yeah, I wish I knew what the issue was, because it works great for 99% of the time, and then it just hits a snag here and there.
But yeah, since we're having some technical difficulties on my end, I think I'm going to end the stream here, this podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. Thank you, Doc, for joining me and
Always.
coming in here and talking. Always love the chats. Thank you, everybody. Super Pretty Geek, Rifter, Mommy Kitty, all you guys. Thank you guys for commenting and joining me. Thank you all. I'll see you in the next video.
Yes, thank you everyone that joined. This is like an every Tuesday thing. There's usually not technical issues like this. We usually, it doesn't go overly too long, but yes, thank you guys for joining, and please watch the other ones. Watch all the videos. They're really good.
Thank you guys.